I'm Shoria.
I'm Mark,
And I'm David.
and this is our project on sustainable cities.
Piedmont Park, the largest park in the city of Atlanta, which is 109 acres. And it's the carbon sink for the city.
And it provides recreation for the locals as well as serves as a place for lots of biodiversity, lots of wildlife.
And that includes geese, swans, and mourning dove.
Here's some more B-roll of this beautiful inner city carbon sink here. Look at all that carbon cycling. Water cycle too. Lots of maple trees, some eastern redbuds, all that delicious St. Augustine's grass.
Problems that Atlanta has is traffic. And Atlanta's ranked 7th in the United States for traffic.
So due to this traffic, the air pollution here is pretty bad due to the cars releasing lots of CO2. And this park acts as somewhat of a counter to that CO2 by converting it back into breathable oxygen.
So especially here in the downtown Atlanta area, it leads to a lot of respiratory illnesses such as SARS, asthma, and lung cancer. So Piedmont Park helps purify the air for the residents of the city.
To make a city more sustainable, suburbs should give up the big lawns and live in more apartments. Companies should also build in smaller clusters to avoid more land use. Cities should also start developing town centers to make traveling without a car and public transportation easier. And cities should densify and not build out to help protect against urban sprawl. Also, build more cogeneration facilities which help boost energy efficiency by taking waste heat from electricity generation and using it to heat or cool buildings. Also, use the top of small businesses and skyscrapers as a green rooftop to help alleviate the demand for more farmland.
Here's an example of plants being grown on human structures in an ongoing effort to make Atlanta more green.
Okay, so we're at the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. It's one of the busiest airports in the world, and it has 11 LEED certified areas, making it one of the most LEED certified airports in the United States. And so the airport also has solar panels in use, making it very sustainable.
So it's separated from the center of Atlanta City by almost 13 miles, which means it has less noise pollution for the residents of Atlanta. And also, since 1999, they have a program in place that uses recycled concrete to fill in the cracks in the runways, which means it's recycling old concrete and giving it a use instead of letting it fill up landfills.
Another initiative the airport has is the Greening ATL program, which is to increase the amount of material the airport recycles and try to make the airport more sustainable by 2025. And when the airplanes are parked at the gate, they need a source of power instruments, and the most efficient way of doing this is providing a 400 hertz power battery. And without that, they would have to use diesel, which uses more fossil fuels and natural resources. Issues affecting the growth of sustainable cities. The need for developing countries to keep industrializing, which means that they are focusing more on production instead of making the city safer. It is very expensive to install solar panels, upgrade sewage, redesign roads, and build parks. Rapid population growth makes it extremely hard for the population to stay in one dense area because it makes it hard it creates pressure on the environment, and if they're spaced out, the valuable farmland may be lost. Revitalization of city planners have redesigned the central cities to make them more amenable to people moving in, especially the higher income residents, then causes the poor to be forced out and live elsewhere, thus increasing the already major issue in the urban sprawl.
So this here is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's the newest stadium in Atlanta, and it's also the most sustainable sports stadium in the country with a LEED score of 88. What is LEED, you might ask?
Well, LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and it is one of the most popular and useful green building certifications used worldwide. Qualifications for a LEED certified building include verifiable single attribute environmental claims for issues such as energy consumption, emissions, or recycled content, comprehensive environmental product disclosure and detailed product information. There are also currently 92,000 LEED certified buildings in 165 countries.
Today, more and more LEED certified buildings are being built in Atlanta for a more sustainable future.
So
The Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
can store up to 2 million gallons of stormwater, which would prevent flooding in the Atlanta area.
And it also has 4,000 solar PV panels, which can power 10 Falcons games and 13 Atlanta United games. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium is also only 0.2 miles away from a MARTA station, which creates less of a need to use cars and create more pollution.
Atlanta is currently ranked 7th in the world for traffic, contributing a lot of air pollution to the environment. One way to help alleviate this is to use MARTA. Each MARTA train currently holds over 100 people in one trip. It is very affordable and can offer an alternative transportation option for those who want to keep the air fresh in Atlanta, such as this dapper young fellow. By using MARTA, we can subsequently reduce the amount of CO2 created by ICE engines being released into the atmosphere and help slow down global warming.
Sustainability around where we live. The state of Georgia has provided the city of Atlanta $1.58 million in bond for land acquisitions and to improve infrastructure as well as expanding the Atlanta Beltline. The city is switching to more energy efficient indoor and outdoor lighting, including LED traffic lights which use 80% less energy than what we used before. Building efficiency practices are mandating lighting sensors, improving the maintenance system, installing automatic sensory faucets, and setting citywide policies on temperature settings. The city has a recycling program for all single-family homes and major city buildings and mandates recycling for all large events in city parks. The city also has a hazardous materials collection program in which e-waste and fluorescent light tubes are recycled. As a part of the city's demolition waste recycling program, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport recycles everything on demolition and new construction sites.
So, possible exam questions. Question 1. What roles do parks play in terms of making a city sustainable? Question 2. Identify 2 renewable resources that increase the city's sustainability. Question 3. Why would using battery electric vehicles help with the city's sustainability? Question 4. How do traffic harm sustainability of the city? Question 5. List the benefits of having public transportation.
the first question. So the answer to it is that parks serve as a carbon sink, which is an air filter to the city, preventing people from getting respiratory illnesses. And for the second question, the answer was solar energy, wind turbines, hydroelectricity. They are some of the examples out there. And the third question, BEVs, or the battery electric vehicles, don't produce carbon emissions, reducing air pollution of the city. And the fourth one, longer exposure to carbon dioxide from the car, since it's out longer from the road. And the fifth one, the benefits of having public transportation is less air pollution, less noise pollution, and less traffic.
Controversies.
Atlanta, also known as Pro-Atlanta, nothing can really prevent its growth since Atlanta is near no major oceans, rivers, or mountains, which has led to a large amount of abandoned neighborhoods and buildings in here. The UHI, also known as the urban heat island, is also a major problem in the city of Atlanta since nearby Douglasville, Georgia is only 12 kilometers south and it's much cooler on average. Deforestation is also a major problem because Atlanta is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, which has led to an increased demand for more homes, stores, and entertainment spots. Atlanta also used to be a major railroad hub for the southeast, but now the need for the railroads has diminished, which has led to an increased soil pollution in the area.